I'm Lillie Mae.
And where are you from?
Nashville, Tennessee.
When did you start making music?
My family had a family band. We started full-time when I was 3. So I started making music at 3.
And who did you listen to growing up?
Very, very, very limited selection of music. A lot of gospel, very few bluegrass songs, but some Marty Robbins, Hank Williams Sr., Patsy Cline, George Jones, kind of very limited.
So how did that all evolve for you? Playing music and different influences and...
Well, thankfully, just really being around so much music, growing up in a musical family, we were constantly traveling, and we lived in a motorhome, and we traveled, from festival to festival, from show to show. So I think, tons of live influence, bluegrass festivals and stuff, just jams, late night jams and stuff. We got to hear a lot of that, thankfully. And I'm the youngest sibling in my family, so the older ones, they had purchased Beatles album, and my folks broke it. They purchased a Beach Boys album, and they broke that. But I know that the Beach Boys were huge, or both of those, they were huge influence for sure. But it wasn't till later on that we heard, till we heard that. But I know that harmonies and everything, Beach Boys, huge influence for sure.
So when did you start evolving on your own?
I've always written songs. I started. I've been writing songs since I was 14 probably, but I was writing them before that. I just wasn't finishing anything. But so I think just having that naturally, I've always did that, and I always played guitar. So I always did that just for myself or whatever, So I think it was probably always there. But really, my family band, my brother quit the band. I don't know, probably 9 years ago or something. The band broke up, maybe, pushing a decade. Not quite, but the family band broke up as what it was, and it wasn't, I just started playing. I just continued playing some gigs to just hold the fort down or whatever, to still, eat something. But it just it was just a natural progression. But it's not something I didn't set out to do it or anything. It just happens.
Just evolved on
it's
its
you write songs. I write songs. I'm somebody's got to sing them, and nobody else is singing them. It'd be cool if they did.
Did you decide at any point in time, okay, this is what I'm going to just continue doing into adulthood?
No, it's just always been. It's always been set. It's been a set destination road since day one. And
you still have siblings in your band?
Yeah, I'm very lucky enough to have them out there. My sister Scarlett, who I was playing with today, she does a lot of gigs with me, and also we have a family band. That's a separate thing too. We play for fun. we'll always play for fun as long as we can play, probably. And I have another sister, McKenna Grace, who's an amazing singer and songwriter. She does her own thing too. But the family gets together and plays for sure. But I will my brother's been out playing electric guitar on most of my shows, and there's gigs that he doesn't make. Also, he plays with a lot of people, so I'm not, I'm blessed to have them when I do.
So, what felt like your first break on your own?
I was playing fiddle for Jack White for several years, and Jack really gave me a lot of opportunity. He produced an album for me, and he really believed in me, and believed in my music, and he really gave me a platform to dance on. So he definitely was a big push in that for sure.
And now you have your second record coming out, right?
Sure do.
Other Girls.
That's right.
What can you tell me about that?
I guess I've heard people say like, "Hey, your songwriting is really like progressed or whatever," and I'm like, "Well, thank you." I feel like I'm just like, all songs are different. Like like I'm not like there's time it's like there's times like you can like write a batch of songs and it's like and then you can write a batch of songs 10 years later. They're not better. They're just different, or that maybe they suit something else better or different. Like I'm like, I don't think that it's necessarily like, oh, it's getting better. I don't see that, but it's it's me also. I'm just like, it's just everything changes.
Of course.
Like,
what are some things that are important to you that you like to address through your music?
I think like, yeah, okay, great question. I think like as fucked up as it is out there in this crazy world, it's like what's important is like when you're if you're like loading into a show or something and there's somebody there holding the gate open for you to pull your vehicle in, and like you can say hi to be like, hey, thank you, appreciate it, like so many people are just like zoom, just like, oh yeah, we're here we are, open the door. It goes unnoticed. It's just like that kind of shit's crazy. I think like through my music, like I have there's a song on the new record that I have a friend who's like transgender, and the song like one song was like really influenced by him, or actually just like the place that he worked at like a record pressing plant, and like they laid off like 40 something people literally like 2.5 weeks before Christmas, and it was like, okay, cool, half the people that worked there, not half, I'm just making and I'm overshooting it, but like there's a big percentage of people that worked there that are already homeless. They live behind Walmart in Nashville, like behind a particular one. There's a little homeless community, and it's like, that's messed up. That's like, okay, cool, so the actual literally workers that are producing vinyl records that we so love and listen to and care about and everything is like, they're like homeless and they're getting laid off like by the seconds because there's a plant opening overseas or whatever. So I think it's really important like to like do whatever you can to like keep things like keep like keep shit local or like whatever, like, and obviously it's like so expensive, nobody can do that. It's like you can't. So it's like, okay, cool, I'd rather not like purchase something that was like, I'd rather purchase something thrift that's already been done than, but the same thing with like music or whatever, like, but I think like, okay, so anyway, that my buddy, my transgender friend, like the song, like a new song that's on the album, Crisp and Cold, it's like, it's very influenced by him and a lot of circumstances. It's like, like, don't be scared, be more scared. That's the last line of the song, and it's like, yeah, it's crazy out there, and it's like, yeah, it's like, this time that we're in right now is just like, for humankind, like, they ought to just drop the kind off the end, we're just humans, there's no kind, we're not
exactly
kind. Human assholes.
Who would you most like to collaborate with and why?
Man, I've been so blessed on collaborations in my life. I swear, I've gotten to play with some unbelievable people. If I never got to play with anyone else again, I'd be set. I've been so blessed. There's a lot of people I collaborate with. Some friends, the Howling Brothers. They're awesome. They're an amazing band. They travel worldwide, all over the place. They're awesome. But like there's loads of people. I have, there's going to be I'll be playing later on this year. I'll be playing with Robert Plant. Like, that's an unbelievable collaboration. I mean, it's not, I don't know if, if you would call that a collaboration, but it, like, is that what a collaboration is? But
that's awesome.
It'll be like, that'll be so amazing. That'll be great. I've gotten to collaborate with Jack on loads of stuff, from playing in his band or him supporting me or being on his label or whatever. That's always been amazing. Had and then, or like the American Epic sessions that we did them right down the road here, and I was a part of that, and like the amount of people that were on that, like, unbelievable talents. Like, I got to play with Steve Martin and Merle Haggard and Willie Nelson. Like, are you kidding me? Like, I'm golden, man. I'm I'm set. Like I
That's amazing.
I don't need to collaborate with anyone ever again. I've been so blessed. I've had enough collaborations to get me through.
What are your interests and passions outside of music?
Sadly, not many. I used to bake before I was a vegan. I baked a lot. I can't really afford to bake anymore, nor is it as interesting or as good or anything. It doesn't. So it's like, okay, cool. I used to be a baker. That was cool. I crochet, so I make like hats and blankets and scarves and stuff, which is really fun. I enjoy that. Just stuff like that, making cards or little things like that. I'd like to get into making jewelry. Sometimes good things to do while you're riding along in the van.
Mm-hmm. What's your favorite book, film, and music right now?
Couldn't even say. I haven't read a book in ages. I've read like 2 books in my whole life, and it's been years. So no book currently. Whatever is on at the coffee shop, whatever magazine was at the coffee shop that I picked up. Movie. We were talking about. I'm super like not into films and movies, or like I watch stuff now with my boyfriend, like for the first time, almost for the first time, really. It's like we have to be like, I have to be like posted up, and like we have to have like nothing to do for me to like get to watch to turn on something on, And it's like, and it's always just like whatever somebody else is watching. So it's like, but I really dug. We were talking about this last night, like good series or whatever, but and it's been several years since I saw it, but it was Boardwalk Empire. I thought that was awesome. It was great. That was a great program. Don Knotts, Jackie Gleason, anything. Honeymooners, Barney Fife, Goes to Mr. Chicken, old stuff. Mad Men is great. Mm-hmm. I don't know anything that's current right now, but I do. Yeah, what's that was good. Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
And how about music?
I probably. Let's see. Let me. Okay, Logan Ledger, who's a buddy of ours. Unbelievably, he's got a new record coming out. It's amazing, so good. He's great. Probably one of the best of our generation for sure. And Natalie Prass, unbelievable. Natalie Prass is amazing.